and that's why you have to stop into the distance you can see to be safe.
Right, I've been just puzzling over the last 48 hours about how to extend these mirrors. I was of the understanding that you could actually extend them. I think when you go onto the Wunderlich website, it says you can extend them, I think, between 30 and 80 millimeters, if memory serves me correct. I was trying to work out how to do that, so I've just literally unbolted this screw from the end. That means you can actually take the mirror off the fitting. You can then, just by revolving this and applying a slight backward pressure, you can actually pull off this this rubber shroud. And I think what we're then going to find is, if I loosen this, I'm imagining this is probably going to pull out a little bit, just to give me an extra bit of length on the mirror. So let's have a go at that and see what happens. Yeah, and as I thought, when you release this screw here off this sort of compression bolt, I guess you'd call it, then actually you can see where that was, and you can slide it out a fair bit actually. So that, I think that's going to give us my extra sort of little bit of length, just to actually just adjust the length of these mirrors just a little bit more. So I'm going to try that, and I'm just going to see how that looks. Okay, so they're back on the bike now, and you'll notice again, the eagle-eyed observer will see that I've actually been able to increase the angle here now. Okay, because I've now extended this distance, so the mirror is actually further out now to the right hand side. Again, just to do the check, it doesn't interfere with the screen, so obviously that's a safety feature. That's something you've got to be very, very hot on, really, when you fit these mirrors, because you don't want your steering lock to be affected, particularly at slow speeds, do you? So but because this shroud, you see, has been pushed out, it's actually bought me just another little bit of space, which is translated into the fact I can now get more of an angle on this. So the combined effect of that, and by the way, it's exactly the same on the left hand side, as you can see. So again, I've just got a bit more of an obtuse angle in there, whereas before that was actually a right angle. So the mirror again on the left hand side is further away to the left, slightly higher up and slightly further back. What that translates into is actually when you sit on the bike, when you sit on the bike, you can actually see from my perspective now that the mirror, the extra mirror, literally just now clips the top of the existing RT mirrors on the right, and probably on the left it doesn't clip it at all, actually, as far as I'm concerned. So in effect, what that's done, I reckon that's actually doubled my rearward vision and actually given me a different perspective. And what that's probably going to mean is that with the existing RT mirrors, I'm probably going to adjust those to cope with a blind spot. So I think that's the result, actually. I must be honest, when I went out for the test ride on the original, a little uncomfortable with the fact that these mirrors actually clipped, right the way through the existing RT mirrors, which I didn't really like. And one of the commenters on the video said it looked like a bit of a bod job. Well, fair comment, but I think with this adjustment now, I actually, from where I sit now, I think that, if I'm trying to give you that sort of perspective, I think that looks pretty good, actually. So I actually think I've got the best of both worlds, actually. So I'm really happy with that now. So tomorrow, when it's a bit warmer, I'm going to jump on the bike and again give it a little bit of a test. We'll do a bit of a road test on the video, and I'll put out a little bit of an update.
Right, here we are out on the road. I deliberately picked a bit of a grungy day, damp conditions, bit of sort of light drizzle forming, and the road's pretty mucky, to be honest, because what I'm interested in is the performance of the mirrors in the new position now. So as you've just seen in the garage, we've just upped the angle a little bit, and I was able to do that by extending the mirrors outwards, and as you saw, how we did that in the garage as well. So I'm on the second, what I call the Shakedown ride. Worked in the aerospace industry for 20 years. I now consult and train people in it. And a shakedown flight on an aircraft was always when you'd done a modification. Just let me give information here. Yeah, so a shakedown flight is just to prove that everything works as it's supposed to do. A modification in aerospace is a change to fit, form or function. So I've actually got all of those three things here. And certainly from the ride I did probably 4 or 5 days ago when I'd first fitted the mirrors, I would say this position is definitely superior. And what it's also now doing, you'll notice probably from the helmet camera that actually it's, whilst the stem of the Wunderlich mirror does clip the top of the RT mirrors, it doesn't clip it by very much. And effectively now I think what it's done, it's actually doubled my rearward visibility. Now what that means then is I've obviously got no excuses now when I'm out riding, looking for my instructor's indicators, because if you've been following the series then you'll know that the instructor on an advanced motorcyclist course sits behind you. They aren't in radio contact, and they will indicate where they want you to go by putting their indicators on, and what they're looking for is the fact that you've noticed it, that you're doing your rearward visibility. One of the followers on one of my subscribers actually commented, you know, surely it'd be better to have for them to be in radio communication. Well, it is, and I know that some of the sessions will be by radio when we get into maybe a little bit more of the detail coaching. But the reason that most of the rides are done in this way is actually because on the actual examination itself, the instructor doesn't use radio. He just uses indicators, and you've got to be paying attention. And I've got to be honest, I actually think these mirrors look quite pretty. Actually, I think they actually complement the bike. They don't take anything away from it. They're the same style. They're very similar to the mirrors that you see on the GS. So actually, I'm very happy with them. And I think as a back-to-biker, I think I need all the help I can get, to be honest, as well. You know, I don't want to be struggling to see what's behind me. I want to make it a little bit easier, and I want to use that information. So I'm going to take the information from behind and I need to use it. Another advantage, I think, for the advanced riding trainee, the position of these mirrors, is you actually have to physically move your head to actually look into them. So the instructor or examiner behind you can actually see you doing that, whereas I think with the position of the existing RT mirrors, whilst they're sort of very efficiently placed, you barely have to move your head actually, so he doesn't really get the clue that you're actually using them. So again, it's just another discipline, rather like on your driving test, you physically have to move your head just to let your examiner know. So there they are then, so see what you think anyway. So again, I'd be curious about any comments you've got, what you think about the new position. I actually think it looks great, so over to you folks. So thanks for tuning in. Okay, let's just give a bit of information, down to 30, and I'll speak to you next time. So thanks for watching, and this is Back to the Biker signing off.